Good morning, everyone. It is Miss Parkin. I'm wearing my Make Music Every Day t shirt. And just some Tuesday updates for any of the parents. We are getting started in learning our songs for our Veterans Day concert for second grade. I've already uploaded some of the videos for second grade for them to practice at home so they're ready to go for our concert. I'm trying to think. This is why I should have a list. This is why she should have a list, Miss Parkin. Um, this week for third, fourth, and fifth grade, instead of going over rules and procedures where they just sit and I do a PowerPoint slide and I talk to them for 40 minutes and I lose my voice, we don't do that. Instead, what we do is that for third, fourth, and fifth grade, we do a warm up for the class. And then for their first words, for their first week of music class, they rotate to the different stations in the classroom. So there are 10 different stations in the music classroom. Some of them have to do with curriculum, some of them have to do with rules, some of them are just for fun, just because. And so what we do is that instead of me explaining to the students, hey, this is station one, this is how this works, and explain 10 different stations while they all sit and look at me like, please stop talking, we want to do something. Instead, what we do is that we have them rotate every 2 to 3 minutes at each station. So they end up being responsible for learning all the information of how the music room runs without having to sit and be still for 50 minutes. And this is a way that has worked. I've done this is probably about the third year now that I've had students rotate stations to get information on rules, expectations. And I find that it works really well, especially for the older students, because most of the time, by the time they're in third, fourth, or fifth grade, if they've been with me since kindergarten, they know the rules, expectations, and so it's easier to pass it off to them. Where, hey, instead of Miss Parkin being the talking mouth and the talking head, where you just have to sit, be quiet, and listen, you are now responsible to remind yourself of the information of how our music classroom runs. There are a few stations as well for fourth and fifth grade where they have to get their instrument recorders ready. And there might be some questions about recorders, and I'm going to answer those. If anyone's interested in purchasing your own recorder for your home, that is your choice entirely. I am not advocating that you have to do that. But at school, we have enough class recorders for students to use in the classroom. They stay here at the school, and anytime they're in music class, they grab their recorder. It has their name written on it for the year. We play it there, and then they put it back. So, parents, if your children will be learning recorders fourth and fifth grade, however, they do not have to they do not have to have a recorder at home. If your students like, I have to practice at home, they don't technically have to practice. But if you want them to have a recorder to practice at home and purchase that, just let me know. I can give you information on that. However, I do not take responsibility for the sound that this makes if you choose to purchase one at home and have your student play it at 8 o'clock at night. That's not my responsibility. I'm trying to think of any other updates. Kindergarten's going super well. We're working on staying in our spots, keeping our hands to ourselves. And what we typically do is that if a student is sitting nicely in their spot in kinder and first, they get a automatic reward where they get to have some rhythm sticks and they get to play. And they can play here or play on the ground. And then we do a procedure where I say, okay, guys, play. I go, oh, sticks up, sticks down, hands together. Don't touch them. Don't touch them. Just working on impulse control and basic following directions. So if you're wondering, man, does kindergarten get to play any instruments the first week? Yes, they do. They get to play rhythm sticks, and we use the instrument as a tool to learn following directions in the moment and listening to the teacher. Because I know I'm a brand new face, especially for kindergarten, and they're thinking, who on earth is this crazy lady? So, having sticks and working on the relationship with kindergarten to help them follow directions is the goal for the first few weeks of class. We are doing other stuff. We're learning to singing songs and singing songs, playing instruments. One group got to go to their red spots, and we got to have a little dance party and learn about a composer. Um, but for the most part, we're working on building that relationship the first few weeks to where the children feel like they are safe, they are loved, and they belong here in music class. Because really, at the end of the day, do I love music? Yes. Do I think music is super important for children to learn? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I believe music is a avenue, a way that students can feel safe with themselves, feel love and acceptance. And I believe music is the perfect avenue for that. And at the end of the day, I tell all my students if you don't grow up to be a famous musician, that's okay. I don't care. Really, the goal is that we use music as a way to make ourselves better people and to find our purpose and to use that purpose to share with the world. So, thank you for listening. I know I like to ramble and talk, and I lose my thoughts every now and then. So now you understand whenever your children are in class, they're like, yeah, Miss Parkin said something like random of like, we belong. You understand why now. Because I'm very passionate, love students, love music, and I'm just really excited to get the school year going.